On, we're good to go. Well, have you ever heard of the white rapper Post Malone? He, about 2.5 years ago on Easter Sunday, I got the call to pick him up at the intersection here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And it's kind of funny. I didn't know who he was, but he had this grill. This is where all of his teeth were gold. And it was about midnight on Easter Sunday, and he stuck his head in the passenger side window there, and he's like, "Yo, Robin, man, where we gonna go in Grand Rapids? We gonna party." I'm like, "Bro, you are in conservative, Dutch Reformed, Christian, white West Michigan. There ain't nothing going on Easter Sunday." But I'm pretty sure Billy's is open. I don't know if you guys are into this sort of thing, but it's 80s night. He's like, "Oh man, we down with the 80s. Take us to Billy's." So it was him, his manager, a couple of his buddies, and a couple hotties got in this van and drove the manager to the hotel, dropped him off, and they pulled out a bottle of Crown Royal or something, and they started drinking, doing shots in here. And I'm driving through Grand Rapids and into East Town, and I pull up to Billy's, and he goes, "Robin, man, you're cool. We want you to be our driver the rest of the night. We just want you to just chill, hang with us." I'm like, "Bro, I can't do that. The thing's beeping. I've got bills to pay. Shoot, I've got a daughter at home." He goes, "We'll give you $200. I said, "Okay, I'm your man." So I just went inside of Billy's and kind of hung out with them for a couple hours. And it was funny because he wasn't 21 at the time. He was only 20. And he goes up to the bouncer, and the bouncer's like, "How old are you?" And he flips him a $100 bill. He says, "I'm 100. Welcome to Billy's." But I remember he was such a good guy. And he only had one hit at the time, White Iverson. But I was just thinking to myself, man, I hope he's not a one-hit wonder. I hope he really has some success, because he just really was a really good guy. And sure enough, the last year or two, he's just been blowing it up with his albums and the songs he's had top 10 hits. I don't know if you heard, about a month or so ago, he was flying from New York to LA on his G4 jet, and the tires blew out on takeoff, and they had to do an emergency landing. They flew around the New York airspace for about 4 hours so they could burn off fuel, because they didn't want to land missing 2 tires because of the extra weight. And sure enough, he landed. Everything was a-okay. Everybody got out safe. And a couple weeks after that, he was in his Rolls Royce, got in a car accident with his Rolls Royce. So the interesting thing is, I was thinking about this, and I heard about him in the news, is that 2.5 years ago, he was working on Easter Sunday in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Now, I guarantee you, he'd probably rather be with his family, down in Texas, or maybe back at home in LA, but he was working on Easter Sunday. Now, everybody in the world wants success. They want the accolades and the money and whatever, but not everybody's willing to put in the work like Post Malone did. So, Easter Sunday, working his butt off, Grand Rapids, Michigan. 2.5 years later, he goes from a minivan to a G4 jet and a Rolls Royce. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying he's a big success because he was with me. I'm saying he's a big success is because he was willing to work and make those sacrifices that most people aren't willing to make. So I just thought it was an interesting story, and great guy, Post Malone. That's it from the Uberman today. Have a great day.